Hi, ho, students. Mr. Kaczynski with you. Got a video showing you the solutions to the last checkup and investigation 2 of Say It with Symbols. We're combining expressions today. Here we go. We got a couple. Let's maybe highlight them here or circle them or something. Let's do that. We've got our income equation and we've got our expense equation. Okay. So good. We're running this lemonade stand. Seems simple enough. If 100 cups are sold, what was the income? Well, the income, obviously, I'm going to use the income equation here. I've got cups. Income is based on cups. Maybe I'll do that right there. Cups sold C. Okay. So let's go. The income is 50 cents per cup. And we know that we sold 100 cups. Plus $10. What could that $10 be from? Like some kind of donation from mom and dad or something? All right, and we're charging 50 cents per cup probably. That's what we've got going on here. All right, so that means our income is going to be $50. Half of 100 is $50 plus the $10 that we were gifted or that we started with. So our income is $60. There we go. Other ways we could do that, maybe we go to the y equals button of our calculator. We type in 0.50x plus 10. We go to the table and we go down to 100 cups. I would think doing like mental math would be a faster way than this, but we're going to get the right answer. You can see it approaching $60. And there we go. $60 at 100 cups. All right. Next, if expenses were $28, how many cups were sold? Okay, so, well, here's our expense equation, 10 cents per cup plus $15, but the expenses are $28. So we're going to do 28 is our total expenses equals, I forgot the equation already, 10 cents per cup plus $15. Is that what it said? Yep, plus 15. So now we're working backwards to solve this equation and see how many cups we sold. All right, so let's subtract $15 from both sides. That would mean that our expenses were $13 after our initial $15 worth of expenses. And then let's divide both sides by 0.1. It's my fraction bar for division, okay? And 1/10 of 13 is 130. So our number of cups is going to be 130. I add the word cups there. There we go. And I guess we could do that with an equation on the table too, or an equation in our calculator. Let's go 0.10x plus 15. Let's go check this table and we'll go down to 130 cups and we'll see if our expenses are $28. Yep, there they are. Okay, so there's another way to do it, okay? Maybe I'll graph these too, and I'll go from 0 to 150 cups, and I'll go from 0 to how about $100 in profit or in income and expenses. So there's my income equation. There's my expense equation. Okay, that's my break-even point right there. Trace 100 cups. That shows us $60 in income, 130 cups. That shows us, oops, I got to jump up to my other equation, 130 cups. That shows me $28 in expenses. Moving on. Write a simplified equation for the profit in terms of cups sold. Okay, well, our profit is equal to our income minus our expenses. I'm color coding this, okay? So we need to set this up. Profit equals our income, which is what was it, 50 cents per cup? Plus the $10 minus our expenses, which were 10 cents per cup plus $15. Okay. So there's an equation that'll give us our profit. Okay. We just have to simplify it though. It's got to be simplified. All right. So let's do some distributive property. Nothing changes here in this first expression, but we need to subtract the 10 cents per cup that each cup costs us, and we need to subtract the $15 in startup expenses. All right, so now we're getting a little closer here. I see this 50 cents per cup minus this 10 cents. That's going to be a profit of 40 cents per cup. And then I see this $10 we were gifted minus our $15 in startup costs. 10 minus 15 is negative $5. So there's our profit equation. There we go. That's our simplified profit equation. All right, new situation here. Right, the following table shows how much 3 students get donated for a walkathon based on the number of kilometers they walk. I can see this table, 5 sponsors, each donating $3 per kilometer. Okay, there we go. 7 sponsors, each donating $2 per kilometer and $5. They're all going to give Susie a $5 bill, and they're all going to give her $2 per kilometer. Whereas Billy gets 6 people say, "We're just going to give you $10. Get out of here, kid." All right, so we need to write a simplified equation for the total amount the team will earn if they all walk the same distance. Well, our total is going to be Johnny's earnings plus Susie's earnings plus Billy's earnings. Okay. All right. There's our start. So that's going to be Johnny's earnings is right here. His total. About 15K. Okay. And we have to add Susie's total donations right here. I'm going to do the distributive property right now. Make it 14K, $14 per kilometer. Plus another $35 because those 7 people are all giving her $2 per kilometer, $14 per kilometer, and those 7 people are all giving her $5, $15. And we still need to add in Billy's here. So Billy's is $60. You know, he just gets 6 people to each give him $10. That's $60. Hopefully that's making sense. All right, now we can simplify this even more because when we take Johnny's $15 kilometer and add Susie's $14 per kilometer, that's $29 per kilometer. And then also when we take Susie's $35 cash that she got and combine that with Billy's $60, together the team's going to get $95 no matter how much they walk. There's my simplified equation. $29 per kilometer plus $95. I think we're going to use that equation now. If they each walk 5 kilometers, how much will the team earn? Okay, yeah, it's going to be easiest for us to use this equation. Let's go 29 times 5 kilometers plus the $95. Okay, so for walking that 5 kilometers, they're going to earn $145. They already have $95 in cash that we can add to that. So our total is going to be, let's add the 95, $240. Let's look at this a different way. Let's go back a little bit. Let's go to y equals. Let's put in 5 times 3x for Johnny. Let's put in 7 times 2x plus 5 for Susie. And let's put in 6 times 10 for Billy. Let's go to the table. And let's go to 5 kilometers. Table set, start at 0. And there we go. All right. Go to 5 kilometers. And we could look at this as like, well, Johnny's getting $75. for 5 kilometers. There's his 75. Susie is getting $105. And let's see, surprise, surprise. What Billy getting? He's getting 60 no matter what. That's why his is always 60, okay? So 60. And then let's go back to our home screen. What happens when we add these three numbers? $240. Same thing. Okay, I guess I put that stuff in the wrong place. It's this over here. Not gonna let me. There we go. Maybe, yeah, there it goes. Yeah, so that's the same amount, right? Bink, bink. There we go. So that's another way you could have done it. If they earned this much, how much did they walk? Well, that's a different story because now we have to work backwards. We have to go, okay, $370.50. That's their total earned. We know they're getting 29 per kilometer and that they're getting $95 no matter what. So if I subtract 95 from both sides, start solving this two-step equation, 370.50 minus 95. So that means they earned $275.50 from their walking, like after their $95 that they were gifted. And then I'm going to divide by 29 here. Out of practice, I haven't made one of these videos in a while. So let's divide by 29, and that's going to be 9.5 kilometers. 9.5 kilometers is equal to K. I guess we could check that. Let's go to the, set up our window a little bit better. Let's go X max, how about like 15 kilometers? Then Y max, that would be their earnings. Let's go up to like $500. And we're going to see like all three of their earnings. There's, I forget their names. I know that's Billy, Johnny, and Susie. So Johnny is the lower line, Susie is the higher line. Johnny's is catching up, and then Billy's is just staying the same. Let's go trace. 9.5 is $142.50 for Johnny. I'm going to write that down. 142.50. Then I'm going to press the up to go to Susie's line. And I'm going to press in 9.5. That gives me $168 for Susie. And then I'm going to add to that. Let's go to this other line at 9.5. Hey, that's $60 for Billy. And let's add these up and see what they add up to. Let's go 142.5 plus 168 plus 60. $370.50. That's this number right here, okay? So, yeah, but you still had to know how to solve this equation backwards. We got one more page here. A different lemonade stand comes up with the following equation for profit based on cups. So we got profit based on cups. Based on cups. And then they also came up with this equation for the number of cups sold based on temperature. Cups based on temperature, T. All right, if 72 cups were sold, what was the profit? Well, okay, I've got this profit equation that's based on cups, so I'm just going to use that. Okay, we got, what was the profit if there were 72 cups were sold? Okay, let's go. Profit, I don't know, but I know it's 25 cents per cup, 72 cups, minus $10. So the profit is going to be a quarter of 72. So we're going to make $18 by selling those cups minus our $10 in startup expenses. That is $8 in profit. Tidy $5 bill and 3 singles. There we go. All right, how do I do this? Move this one up. There we go. All right, write a simplified equation for the profit in terms of temperature. Okay, right now profit is based on cups, but we want profit based on temperature. Okay, so, all right, well, let's do this. Let's go profit equals 25 cents times the number of cups, but we know the number of cups is 8T minus 500. And then we still have that minus 10. So I don't want that. Shoot. Minus 500. I'm going to change to purple, put minus 10. There we go. So profit equals 25 cents times the number of cups, that's this blue, minus 10. All right, there's an equation for profit based on temperature. We got rid of the C and we replaced it with this because this underlined portion is C. There it is right there. It's C. Okay. So now profit is based on T, temperature, instead of cups, C, because 8T minus 500 is the number of cups. But we have to simplify it. Okay. So let's do distributive property. A quarter of 8 is 2. So let's go 2T. And then a quarter of 500. 500 times 0.25 is what? 125. Yep. 125. Then we still have that minus 100 or minus 10. Okay, so just this minus this. And our new profit equation is going to be 2T minus 135. All right. No, let's do this. There we go. If the temperature was 90 degrees, what would the profit be? Well, I have a profit equation that's based on temperature. Okay, so let's do it. Let's go profit. Nope. Yeah, profit equals 2 times 90 degrees. That's the temperature. Minus 135. All right, and then we'll go, so the profit is 180 minus the 135, which is what, $45? Yep. Let's look at this another way. How about we put in our profit equation, 0.25x minus 10, and then we'll put in our cups equation, 8x minus 500, and I'll get rid of this down here. I'm going to go to my table, and I'm going to go, okay, if the temperature was 90 degrees, well, the temperature goes in the second equation. So let's go 90. I'll scroll all the way down to 90. And this is going to give me my number of cups. What we'll do is we'll kind of write this as ordered pairs. Okay, so 90 degrees means we're going to sell 220 cups. So let's do it black. 90 degrees Fahrenheit means we'll sell 220 cups. And if we sell 220 cups, what's our profit going to be? 220 cups. What's our profit going to be? So now I got to go over here. Okay, we're going to do it. We're going to scroll all the way down. This is not the most efficient way. Like doing the equations like we've already done, this is the most efficient way. But I'm just trying to prove it to you another way how this can be done. So I'm going down to 220 cups now because X is my cups input for this first equation. And I'm almost there. And this should tell us a $45 profit at 220 cups. There it is, $45 profit. There we go. All right, my lights went out on me. I'm done. See ya.